So this is my week 2 diary for the module WT4028. So first of all, this week I'd like to look at the design challenge. So this was to design and realize a sustainable creative artifact which contributes towards addressing a real-world social and environmental issue. So I started off by highlighting some of the most important words I feel in this module challenge and looking at these words then individually. So start off with design. Design is something that we've been looking at for the past 4 years in college, and then before that, I would have obviously done it in school as well. So this is something that I feel I've been able to develop recently or over the last few years working on it, and by using different little techniques to help me design projects and creative artifacts. The next word is sustainable. So I feel like this is something that I can achieve in this project because of the way it's set out, the fact that we got to use 80% recycled material, and the fact that we have to upcycle some old material. So I feel like I should be able to achieve this by completing this. And then creative. Creative is something that I kind of work hard on trying to achieve. So at the moment, I've had a good few initial ideas, and I'm trying to just find something that I feel is going to be creative and unique, and something that looks kind of good once it's finished. So at the moment, I'm really working on trying to get a creative artifact. And then we have social and environmental issues. So first of all, social issues. Kind of what I've defined as these was I looked at different social issues around the world at the moment. So homelessness, refugees. Then like I looked at how food shortages in third world countries, and then like maybe clothes shortages as well, and how that affects people. And then I looked at environmental issues, so some of these like deforestation, water shortage, and how this affects the environment. And even at the moment, like the bushfires down in Australia, how these are affecting our and how these are big issues in the media at the moment. Last week I looked at farming, and I kind of looked at it as a broad sense because it was something that I kind of enjoyed. This week then I kind of decided to look at it more as a environmental issue. So at the moment, there's a lot of talk about how it affects the environment, farming, and the methane that the cattle produce on a farm. So I kind of looked at this maybe, and I kind of want to look further into it, and maybe if I could create some sort of artifact or something that could help with this environmental issue. I also looked at tailoring last week, and this week then I want to look at it closer as a more social issue. So I looked at Africa and some third world countries, and how often in pictures you'll see they are wearing clothes very similar to what people will be wearing in first world countries. And this is obviously because we often donate clothes to them. So I kind of want to look at that issue and how there's like such a clothes shortage in them countries. And I also looked at how tailors work out there as well, how they rework clothes and they bring on in bright colors and all that into their clothes. And I kind of wanted to look at that social issue and see if I can maybe design some sort of artifact that could be involved in with this social issue, could address this social issue. Finally, then I want to look at this. So this used to be this is a bench that is at home. Obviously, it's broken, but I was hoping that I could maybe use some of this as my waste material and upcycle this. So I've been kind of, when I'm designing, I've kind of had this in the back of my mind, and kind of almost like this kind of in some way drives my design. So at the moment I have initial ideas. I'm trying to incorporate this and how the bends work in this, and maybe I could incorporate this into my project, and then that would obviously be upcycling the project. So that's it for this week's diary.